Hey guys, okay, like I said in the intro, I had some responses that were due, and I'm going to add it. My makeup is really dark, so this is not the norm for me. Plus, I'm supposed to be doing house cleaning, so apparently that's not taking place. I'm over here talking to you guys, which sometimes distractions are good. I've been promising to do the 20 questions that's been floating around YouTube, and I haven't done it, so I'm going to do it now. I have the video up, and I'm going to read them and give you the responses. So, okay, first one. Where were you born? I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas. My father was in the Army, so yes, I am a military brat. I don't think I'd want to go back because for some reason I associate Kansas with tornado, and I think you can blame that to the movie Wizard of Oz. Number 2. Who was and is the most important person in your life growing up and why? That would be my mom and dad and my brother Michael. My mom and dad were actually married in high school. They eloped. They didn't tell my grandparents. They were married secretly, but it was found out. After they continued their high school, my dad joined the Army. And while I was in school, my mom and dad both put themselves through college. Huge inspiration because they continue to follow their dreams. And my brother is an inspiration to me also. He was 7 years older than me, and being a younger, bratty child as I was really bratty. He put up with me. And that was hard. That was really hard. But he's a great brother, and I love him very much. 3. What is your favorite color? Well, it used to be blue. I was obsessed with blue. Blue is my husband's favorite color, and so is my son's. But since I've been with my husband, I've gotten all girly, kind of strange, and now it's pink. I'm clueless on that one. Okay, number 4. What is your favorite movie? Okay, I admit it. I am an 80s girl. I love the Brat Pack, Sweet 16, Breakfast Club. You can give me those anytime you want. However, I do love Harry Potter. I love Lord of the Rings. I love comedy, especially romantic comedy. I can get into horror films as long as someone's holding my hand because I can get pretty, I don't know. Movies take me into another world, another universe, and I love that. Unfortunately, in Germany, we don't get to have our share of movies, so it's very random and very limited in what we get to watch. So when we do get a good movie, I get really excited. I can't wait to see what reality is going to put me into at that point of time. Number 5. Do you think people have a soul, however you define that? Yes, I am a big believer that people have souls. Especially as a mother of a child that we lost. I feel his soul with me every day. I know he's watching over us, so yes, I do believe strongly that people do have a soul, and that soul continues to live. Number 6, do you believe in the possibility that God exists? Yes, I do. Number 7, have you ever gone bungee jumping? No, I have not gone bungee jumping. However, I am very interested in doing that. I would love that. I think that would be a lot of fun. My husband went bungee jumping, and he has pictures of it because he enjoyed it so much. So I'm hoping that when I lose all my weight, that would be a great goal for me to do with my husband, to go bungee jumping with him. I think that would be a lot of fun. Number 8, if you could solve one and only one world problem, what would it be? I would want to find a cure for a lot of children who are suffering from cancer and leukemia. It just breaks my heart to see a child leave this earth too young. Number 9, do you believe there might be aliens out there, and have they visited Earth from time to time? Okay. I believe in existence of other life forms out there. Do I believe that they visit us? Probably not, but that doesn't mean that it can happen. I mean, it's amazing what happens. We have so many miracles that happen every day, and so many unsolved mysteries, so why not? Number 10, did you have a pet growing up? Yes, I did. My first pet was, this is how young I was. She was beautiful. Her name was Puppy Puddles. I did. I named her Puppy Puddles. But unfortunately, she died as a puppy. She ended up having leukemia, and that broke my heart. Then we had another dog named Mork, from after Mork and Mindy. That tells you how old I am. And he lived very, 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 very long, 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 long time. So yeah, he was a good pet. Number 11, is there any circumstance that would warrant the death penalty? That's a tough question. I'd really have to think about that one. Number 12, if you could have a super sense, what would it be? Sight, smell, hearing, touch, or taste? Okay, if I could have a super sense, it would combine two things: teleporting and also being invisible. I would love to do that because, one, I could follow my son around and he would never know it, and I would know if he was doing something he shouldn't have done. But he's such a good kid, I won't have to worry about it. Two, I could also teleport anytime my husband was deployed, to watch over him if need be. And three, okay, if my son was having a hard time at school, it would just be nice to be up there, and when the teacher was giving me a hard time, I could just really give her a nice hard kick in the... 13. If someone offered you enough money to live the rest of your life, how much would it be? How much would be enough? That's a good question. The cost of living goes up every year, so I'm not really sure. I definitely would have to invest it. I would get interest in it every year. But I would hope that it would be enough to, one, buy me a house, two, to never have a debt in my life again, three, enough to support my family, also send my son to college, especially if he wanted to become a doctor, to pay for all those years of college. And also that every year I could spend a whole week at Disney World. That'd be great. Number 14. How old do you think you'll be when you die? Time is not guaranteed. I can't tell you when I'm going to die. I just hope that I have enough time on this earth, graced with that, to watch my son grow up, and to watch him go to college, to watch him get married, to have children of his own, to be there when he's an adult and has questions about anything in life, and I am there, because I always want to be there for him. So I couldn't tell you, but I would love to grow old gracefully. I would love to be that woman on a porch, going back and forth in my rocking chair, holding my husband's hand, surrounded by grandchildren. That would be an amazing thing. I would love that. Number 15. What time did you go to bed last night? Okay, I'm old. I went to bed around 10. I wanted to go to bed around 8 o'clock, but I wanted to watch a show, so I stayed up to watch the show, and when it was over with, I went straight to bed. Number 16. If you were asked what's the top 3 things you like about yourself, what would those be? I'm sincere. I'm an honest person, and I'm the type of person who likes to give and not receive. Okay, number 17. If you could have any profession in the world and it would support you, what would the job be? It's really easy for me to answer. I would love to start a foundation that when a mother or a father or a sibling loses a child, it's stillborn, miscarriage, and they have to go into the hospital to give birth to that child, or anything, any type of miscarriage, regardless of how far along you are in that miscarriage. I would love a foundation that starts up, so when you're in the hospital, somebody comes in and gives you the support and love that you need, and you're not there alone. When I gave birth to Zachary, I didn't have much. They did, however, the first nurse was amazing. Oh, she was so sweet, and I love her to death. And she presented me with a box, and apparently this is something that's given to a lot of mothers and fathers and families that go through this. But it's this purple box. Can you see it? And I'll open it up for you. And Zachary was too small, so I didn't get a lot of things. I haven't opened this box in a long time. 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. I took a quick shower and washed my hair, and I feel a little bit better, so my hair's wet, so forgive me the way I look. The box. Zachary was really small, so they gave you, so I didn't have a lot of things. He didn't have any hair, but this says a wisp of hair, and it has a little section here where you can put hair in for him. Then it came with a little card, and inside the card had this, and it says, when someone comes into our life and they are quietly and quickly gone, they leave footprints on our heart, and memory stays with us forever. And it says, our thoughts are with you. So that was really nice. It also included, your usual bands for your wrist, and it also included, this would have been his footprints, but he was so tiny that we couldn't put his footprints. He was very fragile, and they were scared of, doing something to him, so we didn't do the footprints. This is the band I wore on my wrist for me, and it came with little hats for his head, or his or her head, so they had little hats. And it came with 2 of them, so I have little hats. And then it came with a little tiny shirt to put on him. And also, this one just wrapped around his neck. It's his little shirt. And then it came with a little blanket. And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Yeah, do you see that? That is an imprint Zachary left. Not only that, it also came with a little pillow, and it's in a bag. You can see closely. I don't know if you can. Probably can see it better on this side. Yeah, do you see it? The little stain? That's where Zachary laid his head. It's very special to me. And I also have in this box, we had Zachary for a couple hours in our room with us. A chaplain came and gave Zachary a blessing, and so we kept him in our room with us for a little bit, as long as we could. And I placed Zachary on top of this blanket, and it's kind of ironic because it has angel on it. And this really belongs to the hospital, but because Zachary laid on it, I kind of took it without them knowing. I put it in my purse, and I actually stole it. I can't believe I did that, but I don't steal, but it's part of Zachary, so I took it. So, yeah. And then here, it says what time he was born, how much he weighed, and where he was born at. And then also we have remembrance and blessing here. It has the same thing, our names and when he was born. And then it came with a book, and it says when hello means goodbye. And it's a guide for book, it's a little book that they gave me, and they gave it to me right before I was in labor for 27 hours, so yeah. But I think that if I could have a job that would support me, the job basically would be, one, to be an advocate for parents. My last nurse who took care of me for a long time wasn't very sympathetic in any form, way, or fashion. I was in a lot of pain, and she never came and gave me medicine. And finally, at the very end, when I was in a lot of pain, I was just, the pain was so horrible, and I was screaming at one point because I needed something. And finally, the doctor heard me, and he came in because I was upset because she wouldn't come in, and I couldn't speak. I could only yell because it was such an enduring pain. And so the doctor came in and he said, okay, I'll get you an epidural. And the nurse came in because she told him to come in. And I was standing up. She told me to move to another bed. So I stood up. And when I stood up, I looked at William and I said, something's coming. And William put me back into bed. And when I did that, I delivered Zachary immediately. And the nurse just sat there. She didn't come to us. She didn't do anything. And Zachary laid in between my legs for 5 minutes. And that's when the doctor came in. She didn't help in any form, way, or fashion. And actually, she was such a bad nurse that when we found out the cost of cremation for Zachary, she called my husband out of the room and asked him how much it was. And then compared the price to the cost of her dog's cremation. So yeah, I would love a foundation to support families who've gone through this, to give support to grandparents, to everyone that's affected by this, to be there for them, to be an advocate, to speak up for them, and be there for them. So that would be what I would want to do. And I'm sorry that was long, but I'm very, when I go back to the States, it's something that I want to see what I can do for that. 18, if you could go back in time only once, where would you go and when? That's hard. You always want to say you want to go back to your childhood when everything was so innocent and so easy and you had no worries and you were protected and loved and you really didn't know pain. But then at the same point, I wouldn't give up what I have. I wouldn't give up Jared for the world, so. I don't know. I probably would go back to when I was pregnant with Zachary and see if I could have changed something. What's your favorite meal? I love Mexican food. Anytime. Just anything Mexican, it's my favorite thing in the world. I crave Mexican. And number 20, if you wanted to tell me something that not many people know about you, what would that be? I'm an open book. So I don't know. I think a lot of people know more about me than I know about myself, to be honest.